Hi everyone, guys. A very good evening. I hope I'm audible and visible. Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? So we'll be waiting for 1 minute for everyone to join in before we start. And we're here with another mixed set of NMAT questions, majorly focusing on tenses for today. Okay, I see 4 of us are here. Let a couple of people more join in. Then we start. In the meantime, guys, in case you have any doubts or any set of questions you've come across which you could not, resound with well, resonate with well, maybe you can drop in the chat box and I would love to take them up. Okay, so let's start. We have a few questions to prepare the tense base first, and then we have some tricky questions from NMAT. All right, let me know if the slides are visible, guys. Before we start, just a quick reminder of the 2-day workshop we have for you guys on Saturday and Sunday. That is coming 26th and 27th of October, wherein we have CAT prep for you, which is an MBA boot camp for 2024 exam, wherein we have interactive sessions by IM alumni, proven techniques by top CAT mentors, which will be showing you the strategy to crack in through the CAT and the other OMETs. And of course, what's the smartest approach rather than just solving the question, being able to solve it with accuracy within a given span of time. That is what we'll be looking at. And then, of course, practicing new CAT questions of different difficulty level, right? We have generally encountered questions coming from, previous CAT papers. If you look at, some of them would be medium, some of them would be really high level questions. So how do they mix the different topics? How questions are prepared? What strategy should be placed in, when you're solving a question type? Be it your LR, be it your DI, where most of the time isn't taken, right? And when it comes to the theta based questions, type in the answer type questions for CAT, the parajumble questions, the odd man out questions. So how do we tackle those questions? Strictly calculating the time. We need to figure out how many seconds can be invested in a particular question, and if we've already invested so many seconds, how many more should be invested in, or if we need to leave that particular question. All of those strategies will be discussed. So make sure that you're a part of these 18 hours of really really intense prep sessions for you. They are being organized for you, so be a part of these sessions, guys. Maybe there'll be some questions which will be analyzed for you, from the previous CAT year's papers. So this will also make that CAT a little handy for you, because you'll be practicing those questions before you actually sit in the exam. So make sure that we do not miss it at any cost. It's anyway just 18 hours before we are yet to step into that CAT zone from next month. All right, this was what we have as a boot camp. Let's quickly get started with the tense questions we have. I hope we are good with the tense basic understanding. If not, I'm anyway here to help you out. We'll be looking at certain questions. We'll be trying to figure out, what is the tense type, what is the syntax for a particular tense. And once we're done with that, we'll be discussing the question altogether. Okay. Good evening, Maria. I see some of them are yet to join in. But anyway, let's start with the question. So this is the first question on your screen. We shall not be visiting Paris next year. Okay. Question which has shall in it, shall or will, is anyway the future tense, right? It refers to future. So out of the given options, yes, it is future continuous tense. But anybody would help me out with why are we going for continuous tense here? Why not, simple future tense? Why don't we have future perfect tense? Why are we going for future continuous tense only for this? What is the syntax for future continuous tense? That's what my question to you is. How do we decide what question is it? What tense is it? Visiting. हाँ, so continuous का मतलब visiting आना चाहिए. Whatever the verb form is going to be, V1, उसके साथ ing होगा तो पक्का continuous है. ठीक है? और फ्यूचर है तो विल शैल होगा ही होगा. That's also one thing we have to be careful about, that if it's referring to future, it should have will shall, right? Be hai, that's always a part of continuation, right? So we shall not be visiting Paris next year. It's future continuous tense. Can it be present continuous? No, we're talking about next year, right? So it should be D Delhi, this particular question. Please try this one. And I want all of you to please answer this. She's always coming late to office. Is the sentence correct? One part of it. Two, if you are supposed to, rectify it or make it a little better, how would you do that? She's always coming late to office. So one, if I say the sentence is correct, what is the tense of the sentence? Two, if I ask you to rectify it or, take it a little towards a better level of the sentence, how would you change it? How else can we reframe the sentence when we're talking about everyday habit? Always coming late to office. And once you change the sentence, what the tense of the sentence becomes? Please help me out with both the things. Yeah, she has a habit of coming late to the office. No, but if I say it's a habit में क्या यूज करता है? सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस यूज करता है. अगर वो हैबिट बन गया तो सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस हो जाएगा. तो मारिया, देन इट कुड हैव बीन रीफ्रेम्ड एज शी कम्स लेट टू ऑफिस एवरी डे. शी ऑलवेज कम्स लेट टू ऑफिस. देन द टेंस ऑफ द सेंटेंस बिकम्स सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस. बट इन द गिवन सेंटेंस शी इज ऑलवेज कमिंग लेट टू ऑफिस. तो कमिंग है तो कंटिन्यूएशन है, और ऑलवेज है, इज है, बी वगैरह नहीं है. वी डोंट हैव बी, राइट? वी डोंट हैव हैव. तो परफेक्ट कॉन्टिन्यूस नहीं होगा, है ना? हमने सिंपली क्या यूज करा? बी का फॉर्म यूज किया, इज विद अ वी1 विद एन आईएनजी. इज ऑलवेज कमिंग लेट टू ऑफिस, सो इट इज प्रेजेंट कॉन्टिन्यूस टेंस. ठीक है? कैन इट बी reframed as she comes late to office? That becomes a habit, and then the tense also goes to simple present tense. Currently it is present continuous tense. Okay, have a look at the next question now. We went out with a friend day before yesterday. I'm sure we can do it. Easy one to crack. Okay. So when do we use this particular tense, guys? Many of you went for B Bombay. Simple past tense. What is the rule? Why do we use simple past tense के लिए a certain type of structure? Why do we call it as simple past tense? How do we identify? So we're talking about he went out with a friend day before yesterday. So the action is done and dusted. Verb second form है, वो तो अच्छा है ढूंढने का तरीका. But why do we use simple past tense? That's what my question is. When do we use it? When the action is completed in the past and it has nothing to do with the present tense. It's not being continued in the present tense. It's done and dusted, it's over. Right? So went out with a friend day before yesterday. Right? परसों गया था. अभी आज कोई impact नहीं है उसका. तो simple past tense use करेंगे, verb का second form use करेंगे. Go went. So went is what we are using here. Event should also be done already. हाँ तो वो event ही तो past में हुआ है ना हमारे यहाँ. Right? Okay, how would you change it to simple present tense? So, Mr. Jat, you're so much into advocating your roots or the religions you follow, whatever your name is. टेंस कौन से एग्जाम में आता है? टेंस सारे एग्जाम्स में टेस्ट होता है, पहली चीज. If you talk about the nomenclature, the exams might not ask you, prominently what tense of the sentence is, but then you need to know. And since it's your first session on grammar here for tenses specifically, I thought of keeping it a little low key, right? So that all of us are able to understand the basics first. Then maybe we can hop on to some really, really tricky and math level questions, right? But these are the first few questions we are embarking on. So better we take it from a very fundamental level to a medium and then a high level. Okay? So he went out with a friend day before yesterday. I asked you to make it into simple present tense, convert it into a simple present tense. How would you do it? He has gone out with a friend, present tense. Has gone अगर आ गया तो वो फ्यूचर बन गया, फ्यूचर परफेक्ट टेंस बन गया. ठीक है, प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट टेंस बन जाएगा. हैज गॉन, गो वेंट गॉन. गॉन इज ऑलवेज वर्ब थर्ड फॉर्म, राइट? दैट इज ऑलवेज विद द परफेक्ट टेंस. तो ये प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट बन जाएगा. बट अगर मुझे इसको सिंपल प्रेजेंट में कन्वर्ट करना है, कैसे करेंगे? He goes out with a friend. ठीक है, he goes out with a friend every day for a morning walk. He goes for a jog every day with some of his friends. So goes, right, does something like an action being repeated every day, like a habit. That's what would convert it into a simple present tense. But currently the sentence is went, it's simple past tense. All right, next question. Please check this out. It's a good tricky question. We have two instances to one sentence. What's the tense of the sentence here? Okay. Do we have two parts of the sentence? Are we confused? Yeah. When I entered the house, I saw that Hitesh, the paper boy, had gone. How do we decide it is A alpha or D Delhi, whatever it is, as per you? What makes us decide that, guys? How do we decide? When I entered the house, I saw that Hitesh, the paper boy, had gone. So there are two parts happening in the sentence, two actions. Me entering the house, right? And two, Hitesh, the paper boy, already gone, right? So when you have two instances happening one after the other, good evening, sick boy. Good to see you again. The healer Yash. So you guys can actually connect, right? The healer Yash and the sick boy. Paper boy had gone before he entered, right? Absolutely. Dhairya, that's correct. That one of the actions supersedes the other one, right? So whichever action happens first, we'll use a had with the perfect tense. We'll use a had with the verb third form, right? So when I say when I entered the house, I saw that Hitesh, the paper boy, had gone. So I'm using go, went, gone, verb third form, right? So had use करेंगे. Had क्यों use करेंगे? क्योंकि it's the past perfect tense. ठीक है? Present होता है तो we use has, have. Past perfect होता है तो we use had. Okay? And perfect कैसे पता चलता है? Because it's using gone, go, went, gone. So when you're referring to an action which is already done, right? The first action that happens, that is the paper boy had gone. So uske sath I'm using past perfect. And the first part of the sentence, like I entered the house, the action that happens later. मैं घर बाद में पहुंचा, जो पेपर वाला लड़का था वो चला गया था. ठीक है? तो had gone comes with the action that forms first, the former action. And the one that happens later uses simple past tense. So I entered the house. I is the subject, entered is verb second form. Okay? So we have two actions here. One, I entering the house. Two, the paper boy leaving. Because the paper boy leaves first, I'm using past perfect with that part of the sentence. I enter the house later, so I use simple past with that. Right? Please write down this sentence. I'll type it down here maybe. Uh, I hope the sentence is visible to everybody. The patient died before the doctor had arrived. Is the sentence correct? Is the sentence correct, guys? No. Why not? Why not, Darya? Guys, please give me the correct sentence. I see most of you just telling me the status of the sentence, but then you got to correct it. Huh. More precisely, we could also use a comma with the patient had died, comma, before the doctor arrived. So Darya answered it correctly. I want the rest of us also to please give me the correct answer choice, guys. The former action. The patient was dead. Nahi. Maria, we cannot change the tense of the sentence. Na? We have two actions happening simultaneously. Patient का death होना, doctor का पहुंचना. But doctor बाद में पहुंचा, patient का death पहले हो गया. Right? So we should patient had died before the doctor arrived. Right? So had died, that's a past perfect part. That comes with the sentence that, the part of the sentence that happens first. So patient had died is a past perfect tense. And then we have the doctor arrived, that is simple past tense. Okay? We can't say the patient was dead. अब डेड हो गया तो कहानी खत्म होगी, लेकिन हमें ये भी बताना है कि डॉक्टर आया बाद में, है ना? जब दोनों एक्शन साथ में होंगे एक के बाद एक, तो पहले पास्ट परफेक्ट वाला आएगा, फिर सिंपल पास्ट वाला आएगा. पास्ट परफेक्ट में पेशेंट हैड डाइड बिफोर द डॉक्टर अराइव्ड, राइट? So we have past perfect and then simple past tense. That's how you combine the two. I hope this is clear, guys. Yeah? And the tense of the sentence is past perfect tense. Are we clear on this? Any doubts, anything we are unable to understand? Please drop in the chat box. Okay? Taking you to the next question now. Please try this. Yeah. Have a look at this particular question. Is the sentence correct? If yes, what type of the sentence is it? Yeah. What's happening in the sentence again? When I go there next week, I will have visited them thrice. Two parts of the sentence. मैं वहां पे next week जाऊंगा, तब तक मैं उसको 2-3 बार विजिट कर चुका हूँ. I will have visited that place thrice. I want everyone to please answer, guys. Only a couple of us have answered, and that too doubtfully, I see. So again, two parts. I go there next week. This part is more like subject plus verb का first form, तो simple present tense आ गया. Next part में क्या है? इतना हो चुकेगा. I will have visited them thrice. Have and visited, and then will. तो will मतलब future, have मतलब perfect, and visited होगा क्योंकि यहाँ पे future है, तो मतलब when we have perfect tense, we'll anyway be using verb का third form. Visit, visited, visited, right? So this is verb third form. So first part of the sentence uses simple present tense. Second part of the sentence uses will have visited. So future perfect tense, right? So what is it now? When I go there next week, I'm referring to future anyway. Continuation में कुछ नहीं है. ठीक है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग आई विल बी विजिटिंग समथिंग समथिंग. आईएनजी वाला फॉर्म नहीं है, तो सारे कंटिन्यूस वाले ऑप्शंस हटा दो. क्या ये सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस हो सकता है? नहीं. आप फ्यूचर को रेफर कर रहे हो. जब मैं नेक्स्ट वीक जाऊंगा, एंड दैट टू इन द परफेक्ट टेंस, मेरा ऐसा 3 बार विजिट हो चुकेगा. आई विल हैव विजिटेड देम थ्राइस, राइट? सो 2 एक्शंस, अगेन वन बाय वन. मेरा नेक्स्ट वीक जाना, तब तक 3 विजिट्स का कंप्लीट हो जाना. ठीक है. सो 2 एक्शंस. तो इसमें पहले क्या होगा? 3 विजिट्स का कंप्लीट होगा, राइट? सो दैट कम्स इन द future tense. So if you use future perfect tense, I go there, right? So that's simple present tense. Overall tense of the sentence is future perfect tense. Let's see Calcutta. Maria and Mr. Jat, I hope you got it why the answer is not A. It's not past perfect continuous. ing का कोई फॉर्म नहीं है, visiting नहीं है कहीं पे भी, है ना? We need an ing with that. Ma'am, can would be used in place of will. हाँ, मतलब अभी if we get into that question, will ki would, so that's basically into modals we are slipping into. Let's not discuss modals right now because it's majorly focused into tenses. We're focusing on tenses right now, not modals. But will and would changes the intensity of the probability of an action to happen. Okay? Will means 100% surety है. would का मतलब 90-95% है. चांसेस है कि हो जाएगा, पर रास्ते में गाड़ी खराब हो गई, ठीक है, नहीं पहुंच पाए, बारिश हो गया, whatever. So point is that would is giving you a chance. Will gives a surety. That is the difference between the two. But again, the tense of the sentence doesn't get impacted whether it is will or would. It still remains the same. The only thing that gets impacted is the tendency, the intensity of something, some action to happen, the probability of that action to happen. Okay? So that's modals. We'll get into it later. For this, let's stick to what it is given. So will है तो will consider करते हैं. अगर would use करोगे भी तो भी future का future ही रहेगा. उसके tense में कोई defect नहीं आएगा, मतलब कोई difference नहीं आएगा. Okay, so when I go the next week is a simple present tense and will have visited 10 thrice gives us the future perfect tense, because we have will, that's future, and have visited मतलब perfect tense. So overall tense of the sentence becomes future perfect tense. ठीक है? Everyone good with the question? I am TN, please don't use Hindi. अच्छा, you're from Tamil Nadu. तो ये JAAT कहीं तमिलनाडु का ही कुछ है क्या? Your name is like Jad there. I'm sorry, I am not aware of this. But what does your name actually refer to? ठीक है. All right, Mr. Jat. We'll move to the next question now. Please have a look at this question, guys. Answer it within 10. Identify the tense of the sentence through the words being used. Like will है तो future होना चाहिए, completing है तो क्या है, right? Accordingly you figure out. Yeah. Okay. Tomorrow we will be completing 1 year of service in the organization. Right? So one thing is anyway future को refer कर रहे हैं. Tomorrow, कल की बात कर रहे हैं, तो future होना चाहिए, और ऐसा हो जाएगा. तो कोई perfect है यहाँ पे? We have any have or has been used? No. Right? अगर future tense use कर रहे हो तो पक्का उसके साथ perfect के लिए have ही use करेंगे. Whether the subject is singular or plural, we always use have with it. But there is no has, have, had. So it's anyway not perfect. So A and D go out of question. Option A and D go out of question because there is no perfect tense being used. We do not have any has, have, had. Tomorrow we will be completing 1 year of service in the organization. Right? I'm referring to future. I'm using verb with an ing. So that gives me I'm using future continuation. That is it. The future continuous tense. Future continuous tense means answer is B Bombay. Right? Tomorrow की बात है, future की बात है, will shall use किया है, and then complete with an ing. So it's completing. So tomorrow we'll be completing 1 year of service in the organization. Answer is B, Bombay. Future continuous tense. Any doubts in the question? Good with it? Can we move ahead? Please check the next one now. Easy, interesting question again. Look at what are the parts of the sentence. Has यूज किया है, endured यूज किया है. तो हैज हैव हैड को देखते ही परफेक्ट दिमाग में आना चाहिए. We're not discussing it before everyone answers in the chat box. Okay, again, mixed answers. What is it, guys? Bangladesh has endured many coups and mutinies. What is it? Sorry, mutinies in its 40 years of existence, right? Bangladesh has endured. Has endured. So, present tense यूज किया है और endured यूज किया है, verb का third form यूज किया है, right? तो present perfect हो गया. Many coups and mutinies in its 40 years of existence. तो 40 साल से अभी तक endure किया है. अभी तक endure किया means present perfect tense. It's like till now, till 40 years, and that 40 years just happened. So Bangladesh has endured many coups and mutinies, right? So it is has endured, has plus V3. So it's simply present perfect tense. It cannot be past perfect tense, guys. If any one of you thought it is past, तो had बोलता वो. उसने had नहीं बोला, उसने has बोला है. Has का मतलब I've just watered the plants. She has just left. तो एक्चुअल में क्या होता है, वो एक्शन हुआ थोड़े से पास्ट में है, लेकिन उसका इम्पैक्ट अभी तक है. The action happened in the past, but it's still impacting the current scenario. Right? So has just left. Has just completed so many years. Right? So this is when I'm referring to perfect tense. और present है तो has have आएगा, past है तो had आएगा. Dharya and Maria, I hope you understood this, especially Maria. You picked up D as a choice. It's not past perfect tense. It is present perfect tense because I'm using has with it. Past होता अगर उसमें HAD use किया होता, not HAS. All right, so answer is A alpha for this. Please have a look at this question, guys. Easy question again. We dash reach the station before sunset. So one could be we reach the station before sunset. There's no answer choice. But there's no option which doesn't offer you like no option, right? If there wouldn't have been any blank, we reach the station before sunset, absolutely correct. But here, we dash the station, we dash reach the station before sunset. So we're talking about the future here. So we will reach the station before the sunset. We will be reached. A तो नहीं आ सकता, B आ सकता है क्या? We shall reached, no. We shall have reached the station before sunset. हम ऐसा कर सकते थे अगर कुछ हुआ होता तो. यहाँ पे क्या होगा? We will reached भी नहीं आएगा, D नहीं आ सकता. We will reached, no. We will reach हो सकता है, not reached. So we shall have reached the station before sunset. Answer is C, Calcutta for this. Yes. Right. Answer is C, Calcutta, guys. We shall have reached the station before sunset. Shall and will both are possible, yeah. But then shall के साथ have, will के साथ भी have चाहिए. बिना have के तो नहीं चलेगा ना. Because we need a perfect tense here. Right? We shall have reached the station before sunset. What's the tense of the sentence here? It is it past perfect or future perfect, guys? हम ऐसा कर सकते थे. Past है कि future perfect है? What is the tense of the sentence? It is shall have reached, so future perfect tense. Absolutely. Okay. So we'll be continuing with the same on coming Sunday. Till then, please keep revising all these concepts. Whenever you read, try to figure out the tense of the sentence, try to change it a bit, you know, and of course, read a lot. That will help you to understand the tenses, how it happens. And we'll also pick up a session on modals, since many of you are confused between will, shall, have, all those will, shall, ought to. We'll discuss all the entire list of modals in the next session, maybe. Okay. Thank you so very much, guys. Have a good night, and we'll catch up on next Sunday now. Thank you.